Well, when Sapphire inevitably launches, I
And
can start talking to Jake about that.
that's right. Also, we're
Just
live
gotta
now.
wait. Oh,
Start the clock.
that talk, Amanda.
So, all right. I'm going to start the clock in the conversation with everybody that joins us today. Um, yes, if you see this for longer than 30 minutes, I'm going. This is a 30 minutes or less episode, ladies and gentlemen. It's a review of CES from your favorite podcasters. If you watch this, we better be your favorite podcasters. What can I say? I'm funny like that. I want to go get the link to share. Doo da, doo da. Ooh, Phoenix. And there was a lot of things that AMD announced at CES. Did you not notice that?
Oh, straight up.
You haven't looked at anything from CES this week, have you?
We've had a busy week as far as sales.
Well, that still doesn't mean you can't keep up with what's going on in the news.
I haven't looked at CES at all.
Oof.
Nothing.
Well,
This
there's
is a bad,
of, of
bad.
of the other things you should have also checked out. Snapdragon's got a new CPU out there that's been tested in the wild. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
Huh.
Okay, Snapdragon and the fact that they're naming convention. Can we start with that? Let's start with Snapdragon's naming conventions. Cause dude, they are terrible. Remember, okay, all right, we're starting on a rabbit hole trail to begin with. So this 30 minutes or less is we're gonna get there, but because I'm just gonna say at like 29 minutes, I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, this has been great. Talk to you. Peace out. Um, but I do. I want to go down this rabbit trail real quick because like I'm looking at just top things from CES on a web page right now. So I want to kind of go over this. And list of Qualcomm Snapdragon trips. And then I'm going to bring this up for everybody to see so that we can all laugh about it. But if it'll go to the website. So S1. Okay, here we go. The 8 series. 8 series was supposed to be like creme de la crop. And they started the 8 series back in 2013, mind you. 10 years ago. All right. We had the 800, the 801, the 805. All right, this is their premium processor now, right? Premium. We get down to the 888 in 2021 and then the 888 plus 5G. Because you had to have the plus 5G one. And now we're down to the 2023 version of the Snapdragon 8 or 8 Plus Gen 1, and then in 2022, and then now 2023, the 8 Gen 2. And I'm sure there'll be an 8 Plus. Basically, though, to go look at the actual CPU and what it's got one, ARM X3 CPU core, which to me, the X3, if you've looked at ARM and followed what ARM's been doing, an ARM, X series type CPU is basically your Intel P core, kind of, right? It's your P core. It's your high performance, your usually multi-threaded, that kind of thing, P core. So that's kind of what that is. These CPUs get one of those with 3.2 gigahertz performance. Up to 3.2 gigahertz. It's pretty good. I mean, keep in mind, for a mobile platform, that's really damn good. Supports up to 16 gigs of G6. It's got 3 super efficiency cores. It's got 4 of these gold high performance mixes, which I don't quite understand. I think that's kind of stupid. But we'll call it what we want to call it. It's got their little Adreno um, piece that goes on it. It's got a hexagon display processor on the on this is the SoC. Keep in mind, so these are SoCs. These aren't CPUs. These are system on a chip. So they come with display image processors, image sensors, different memory. All these things are integrated directly into the one chip. Wi-Fi modems, all that stuff are built on board. So it's pretty impressive. It does, which by the way, if you don't know, Hexagon, who I know very well from the metrology market, Hexagon is a very, 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 very big image sensor, display image and display sensor processor technology company. They have a lot of stuff going on from a high-end processing perspective of that. So having that kind of built in and on board to these chips is pretty awesome. But I mean, so realistically, here's the way I look at it and laugh at it though, is you've got all these super nice Snapdragon chips, but basically it is Snapdragon going in and saying, hey, we're going to go in or it's Qualcomm going, hey, we're going to go in and borrow technology from this company, this company, this company, this company, and put them all on one chip. And that's why we get to call it our processor. But they're really licensing the technology for everything from somebody else. They're not doing anything in-house from a design perspective. So we'll call it that. Now, I'm going to drag back over here and come to the fun part of the thing. So, yes, we talked about it, Chris. We talked about everybody having a little review of what was going on at CES. So I will go to Engadget real quick for you, Chris. If you just go to Engadget.com and then go to it's right there on the main page. It's the best at the top 11 picks from CES from Engadget. They do a really good job of doing this. Now, I'm not going to go through the actual, this is kind of funny, but also pretty cool when you think about what it is. I'm sorry. Are you on the Engadget page yet, Chris? The top thing here is
That's the CES.
Yeah, it's an accessibility tech thing. It's the first thing that comes up. And I'm sorry I laughed at it. I really shouldn't, but you got to know better, Brad. But it's just weird because to think about this. Yes. That's why I laughed, because it's like you look at it and you forget what it's for, right? You forget what it's for. But it's awesome because of what it's for. Okay, so there is a L'Oreal Paris, or whatever, the company L'Oreal, rather than coming with a viral beauty gadget, and this is kind of cool, they showed up with an assistive lipstick applicator. What does that mean? There are people out there whose hand grips can't really grip things very well. And as sad as that can be, and as much fun as we can make fun of people and be horrible human beings for doing it, they showed up at CES with something awesome. They came up with a assistive lipstick applicator, so something for people whose grips don't properly work. They can't grip little round items the perfect way to put your lipstick on or put your chapstick on even. And so what did they do? They showed up with a product that actually helps people whose grips are not the greatest, who don't have the most mobility. They built a device and they came and showed up with a device for putting that stuff on. That is pretty fucking awesome. And I'm sorry I laughed at it to begin with, because I thought it was funny when I first saw the actual look of it, because I was like, what the hell would this be for? And then I go, what an asshole am I for laughing at something I didn't know? And that's the point, man. That's awesome. And better yet, I applaud Engadget for putting that on there first. Like that's impressive. That's showing some awesomeness. All right. The next one is another, for people who have a disability thing, but it's from Sony. And Microsoft has had these kind of like buildable controllers for years. So for Sony to kind of come up with these things, that's pretty cool too. I also see a really neat use case for these in building your like own at home. Now I don't call it a flight simulator, but like just at-home devices, or even like big companies, trying to simulate real-world devices inside of a virtual environment. Regardless, Project Leonardo is a great tool. It's going to be awesome from an accessibility standpoint of view for people who can't really grip and use controllers. But it's also really cool for some of the forward-thinking and forward-looking applications that could and should be coming here in the near future from that. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, this is all to give an idea to Chris of some of the things that are out there, since Chris didn't pay attention at all to CES. There's a health and fit, the best health and fitness product. It's a blood pressure monitoring thing. That's pretty cool. Okay, Chris, we got to talk about this one, because this is actually on my list of things to talk about. So we're going to take a minute and talk about this real quick. Home theater tech. So the LG Signature OLED M3. It's their M3 series OLED. Holy cow. So
it's wide-eye.
Not quite, but somewhat.
Well, wow.
Yep. If you look at the picture that I've kind of got on screen too, it's the one that you had too. It's the picture that's there. You see a box kind of sitting off to the side of this thing.
Yeah.
It's wide-eye, guys. It's basically eliminating the cable that has to go from the box to the actual cable, like where you plug everything in. And it's got a
wide-eye means what?
I can't remember.
Wireless display. That's all. I'm pretty sure. Just for the people that don't know what wide-eye means. But
yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
4K 120. What?
Yeah. Okay, but that's why it's not truly wide-eye. Because wide-eye was an Intel standard.
Yeah.
Wireless. Why am I searching in YouTube? I don't want to search in YouTube. I remember, there's another one too.
Huh. At 3 times the speed of Wi-Fi 6. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what this costs.
Oh, multiple thousands of dollars. Come on now, Chris.
No word on price or availability. Figured.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, what?
We've forgotten wireless HDMI. Same setup. Uses same product control. It's not branded by wireless. Or not branded like wireless HDMI, like wide-eye. You also got Y-Gig. There's so many different types of wireless display adapters, guys. But it's now, Miracast, which was a part of Wi-Fi Direct.
Oh God, Miracast. That's right.
Yep. I would love to know what protocol that LG is using. This is a really cool technology, though. It's got 4K 120, which is something that wide-eye, none of those others supported. So this is a newer support technology.
30 feet away. Wow.
Yeah,
it does require line of sight.
But you can still walk in front of it, like if you do have line of sight.
Yeah.
And line of sight just means like, okay, you set the box, to me, you set the box on top of your entertainment center, and you plug this thing up at the top of above the fireplace or way up on the wall. all you got to have up on the wall is the plug-in. You don't need cables. That's what's nice, right? All right. Next down the line was a laptop, the Lenovo YogaBook 9.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a multi-screen system, and it can go vertical as well. That's kind of really cool. Still comes with a keyboard.
Wow.
That's not a bad look. I saw you yawn, Chris. You made me yawn.
I've already yawned like 9 times. I don't know
I
what.
know, but I just saw it a second ago, so it just made me do it. Yawns are contagious. Oh man, they've got a wireless charging thing. That's their next one. Is a wireless charging protocol. That's a QI2 charging station, WPC.
Oh.
See, that's what's cool about CES. This is one of the reasons I really want to get out there next year. Chris, next year we're going to CES, okay? We're taking
So
our cameras and we're going to go do a CES episode.
I really was thinking about going to CES on like the 23rd, I think it was. Like I really thought about it.
In December?
Yeah. But
yeah, we're going to go.
We decided against it.
Well, we're going to decide for it right now and go ahead and start planning and paying for it.
We're going next year.
Yep, we're going to go to CES next year. That's going to be the company trip for the podcast. The podcast is going to take a company trip to CES next year. We won't get paid for it, but we'll figure out a way.
I somewhat related to this key too. I saw the Huawei was doing 120 watt fast charge. Like it charged like a 4,000 milliamp hour in like 20 minutes. Which was the 120 watts was the limit of Type C.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, but Type C now has the 240 watt standard.
Or maybe it was that. I don't know. It was.
What you talking about, Willis? Find it. Send me a link. I'll put it on screen. We'll talk about it. Tell everyone how terrible your thought process is.
Oppo. Yes, found it. All right, I'm gonna put it in chat on Teams. Yeah. It does a 4,500 milliamp hour phone to 100% in 9 minutes. Made by Oppo.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay.
Saw that while I was waiting to get my haircut.
It's because, and you know why that is? That's because the USB-C system can now take us there.
Support that. Is that more watts than some of the Turing video cards would draw?
It's more watts than a lot of lower end video cards can draw. If it only has one 8-pin, it's more watts than a single 8-pin draws.
That's crazy.
And that is crazy. God, you got me yawning, Chris. Dang it. Back to the list. So there's a robot or drone, and it's like a dog toy. The Ki Luna. It's got big puppy eyes, apparently. Wiggling ears. I not sure why. Still. Smart home. GE has a smart mixer.
Smart mixer. Oh, it's a stand mixer.
Yeah, but it's a smart mixer. Up. Ram has a 1500 battery electric concept. I'm not sure how I feel about these things to this day.
What the electric truck?
Electric trucks in general just don't really float my boat or sink my ship, you know. And although I guess the one nice thing to having a truck like that is that you have a frunk, so you actually have like a trunk for a truck too. But I mean, to me, I'm sitting here thinking, if you have a truck, what's the one thing you want to do? Get rid of the front, put nothing but batteries where that is, and like overload it with a lot of to give yourself extra voltage and power to be able to pull something when you're pulling it, and also weigh the front end down when you're pulling it too. Like trucks don't need a trunk; they've got a truck bed for a reason.
Right.
So throw a crap ton of extra batteries up in that front space, and then all of a sudden you can double, triple, quadruple your range, and also have the weight up front for when you actually go and tow something heavy.
Right.
You probably could quadruple your range if you loaded that thing up with batteries too. And most trucks are front end heavy to begin with right now. So who cares?
Micro LED.
Mm-hmm. Samsung is all in on micro LEDs, by the way. They're not going to go with actual LEDs or OLEDs.
This tech was on the wall. That's right.
Mm-hmm. The wall that costs as much as a house.
How much did that cost? We'll find out. Oh my lord. Try. Okay, guess.
How much
Don't
the wall was going to cost?
don't look it up.
I'm not going to look it up.
Guess.
I'm not going to look it up. I would say that the wall cost probably $25,000.
Up.
Oh, okay. No, tell us. Let us know.
So I got links on Google Ads for 187,000 to 319,000.
Yeah, I don't need a wall. I don't need a TV that says a wall. Sorry. I'm not Barney Stinson over here. Barney Stinson, that was awesome. If I sing it and I don't pull up the clip of them singing it, it's not. It can't get us. Okay.
Is that an exoskeleton?
Yeah, the German
Yep.
bionic apogee suit is like an exoskeleton to help people
That's cool.
and it's for like packaging tech. So I'm sure that's going to be interesting for like Amazon people working at Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, we get back to Best in Show. Project Leonardo's back. There you go. Gosh, Chris. I wasn't yawning earlier either.
Sucker.
You suck. All right. So that's some of the cool tech. Now, all right, I'm gonna go back into the other thing that I got, and then we'll kind of go back and let you kind of continue to browse and tell us what you think's pretty cool. So, while at CES, Intel just talked about their non-K SKUs are launched, because B660 or B760s launched too, and motherboards, and then also their mobile CPUs, which that's what I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna throw that one up on the screen now too.
Yeah, wasn't the 13900 HK like kicking ass?
The HK is still only a 14 core 20 thread CPU, just like the 12900H was that way. That is a correct thought process. It's kind of stupid but it's got a little bit more performance. So the H and the HK, comparing those two to the actual the newer versions, yeah, that's not gonna you're not gonna get a lot more because they're basically the same tech. Only difference is they pull a little bit more, like they have a little bit better power efficiency this time around. You got a little bit more efficiency out of an optimized node. All right. The HX, however, which still has 157 as its maximum turbo power. So, Lenovo, Dell, anybody else that makes a performance laptop that slaps this thing inside of it, if you give a 240 watt power supply with this son of a bitch, I'm going to come after you. I will absolutely come after you. If your power supply with these laptops is not 300 watts or greater, we're going to have problems. Because you can't pack a performance GPU in with these performance CPUs without pushing a crap ton of power through them.
500 watt would be great.
No. You don't need that because mobile GPU, unless you're putting a non-mobile GPU with it. Like, unless you're building like a P360 Ultra type design. Right?
So the A5000 mobile draws like under 150 watts?
Oh, it's about 140 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. They're usually between 100 and 150 watt GPUs too. So, I mean, like I said, if you did a 300 watt power supply with the power, power share stuff and tools that they have, you'd be okay. I think you'd be absolutely okay with a 300 watt power supply. But because you're not seeing 157 watts constantly either.
No.
I mean, realistically, you're seeing maybe 85 to 90 watts constantly on the CPU, and the GPU might be the same way too. So, you can look at it that way. All right. So, but yes, if they try to absolutely come back with a 200 watt power supply, I'm just going to be disappointed. Let's just call it what it is. I'm just going to be disappointed. Not even going to lie to somebody. Okay. So that is that, though. But I mean, like I said, we're going up to 24 cores and 32 threads. That's pretty awesome on a mobile chip. Didn't they have an image down here of them? I think they did. Oh. The other thing with the HX chips that I didn't mention. So, yes, it has 16 gigs of DDR5 for so there's probably going to be some motherboards that come out that have these integrated CPUs on them. 16 Gen 5 lanes for a discrete GPU, 4 Gen 4 lanes for a SSD directly to the CPU. Off the chipset of HX series, though, is another 32 PCI Express lanes.
Wow.
Another 16 4.0 lanes and another 16 3.0 lanes. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of impressive to me. You call it what you want to call it, but that to me is...
Wow.
It's impressive.
It's
impressive.
That'll make for some very potent laser scanning laptops.
Oh, that'll make for some very potent workstation laptops of anything. But I mean, you could also think about that. If you could get like like the NUC Extreme that had a bunch of those things on them, or the compute card that had a bunch of those things on them, and put them into some stuff, you got some PCI Express hardware right there. Like that is, we talked about this recently. That is HEDT level PCI Express.
Right.
Like that's something where you're going to see that not found in just laptops. That's going to make it past laptops. That there will be desktops designed based on these things that have a bunch of PCI Express slots on a motherboard for them. And damn it, we have hit 30 minutes. 30 minutes or less failed.
Oh,
Boo-hoo.
we fail.
I'm not going to end it right now because it's still lots of things to talk about between the two of us. Okay. I say
We've
that,
got
not really.
10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We suck, yeah. I'm okay. We can't make 30 minutes or less, guys. I wanted to just for the sake of y'all, but all right. I can wrap it up relatively quickly for us, Chris.
Okay.
So, we do have upcoming episodes going back. Next week, we're actually doing another episode. Well, 9 days from now. We're doing an episode. That's episode 25, since we're on 27 now. Episode 25 will be live next Sunday night, Sunday evening, talking about Memory Madness. We have a special guest from Kingston who's going to be on talking with us, talking about memory modules, storage, all that jazz. All right. Workstations in the CAD market is going to be coming up behind that, and RAID in the NVMe environment, that's going to be coming behind that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say it just because I want to go back to it. My favorite pick of all that M3 TV with wireless technology, that was going to always be my favorite pick of CES. Chris, you don't have to have one right now just to save you from having to have one right now. But, go back, think about it, and when we do the episode next Sunday, Chris will have a favorite pick from CES, having gone through all of the documentation that he can. And maybe, just maybe, next year we go live several times at CES.
Dope.
I mean, cell phones can let us go live. I mean, it might be YouTube Shorts that we do it on and LinkedIn Stories. But, I'm down for doing that, guys. So if you really want to see us at CES next year doing this stuff, leave a comment, Make sure you subscribe and like and join the channel. We hope to have you guys and see you guys more often than that. To wrap this up in the best way possible, Happy New Year 2023. And here's to a fun time with lots of content.